Thank you everybody for coming out here today. We, before I get really started on this, we stumbled, tripped over our words. Did this kind of informally because I'm kind of an informal guy. And I didn't do anything to be disrespectful or anything. I wanted everybody to know that I was leaving with a smile. I definitely am. So good afternoon everybody, thank you for coming here today. So let me get a round of applause for PR1 Powell for his rendition of the National Anthem there. I want to thank members of the 501st Stormtrooper Legion for agreeing to come out here and help with this today. These guys do a lot of work in the community. They volunteer with hospitals and elementary schools, birthday parties, things like that. So, and I want you all to know that behind these masks, there's 5 U.S. military veterans there. 4 of them are retired. From what I understand, at least one of them retired right out of this, right, standing at this podium right here, a couple of years back. So, before I go any further, I want to thank you guys for what you do in the community, and I want to thank you for your service. Thank you very much. Thank you, Master Chief Coons, for coming out. Senior Chief Singley, Dave, Chief Richner, Sarah, where are you hiding at? Everybody helped get this together. Everybody agreed to be a part of this ceremony. I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you so much for it. So I spent the last 20 years trying to come up with little quips and remarks I was going to make in my retirement ceremony. And I spent the last couple of nights absolutely not being able to come up with a single one of those quips. But I had to start back over from scratch at 2 o'clock this morning on a couple of napkins. I think I finally got something together that isn't boring and is actually kind of meaningful. So bear with me for a second. If I start bawling my eyes out, just bear with me. So, what I decided I was going to tell you about the most important lesson I learned ever. Not just in, but ever. And the fact that despite the repeated attempts of many people around me, most of them in this room, it took me forever to learn this mistake, learn what I was doing wrong. So it started back even before I joined the Navy, when I was a teenager. I was a terrible teenager. I got into a lot of trouble. I skipped a lot of class. My grades were terrible. And after my 3rd year in 9th grade, I just dropped out of high school. And a lot of people just expected me to get a dead-end job somewhere, probably wind up on drugs, an alcoholic, maybe even in jail or dead. And this is what happened to a lot of my friends. There's everybody but one person. Dr. Bridget Kelly, my high school principal. She kept in touch with me after I retired, or after I dropped out of school. She helped me get my GED. When she found that I was going to join the Navy, she helped me get my high school diploma. But she never gave up on me. And Dave mentioned something about a prior A school I had before I was an AZ. I wasn't always an AZ. I came in the Navy as a journalist, what we call MCs today. So I went to that. It was my first time really being away from home, really being on my own. And I didn't do too good at it. I had my own apartment. I wasn't paying my bills. And I didn't really get in a lot of trouble at school, but I wasn't doing very good in the school. Not too much time passed, and I found myself being dropped out of that school. So I joined the Navy to see the world. So I told them when they were dropping me out, I said, okay, just go ahead, send me undesignated to a ship. I just want to go out, 10-minute fleet, I want to go out and see the world. The senior enlisted advisor there talked me out of that, thankfully. He told me he saw something in me, and he wanted me to have a better chance than the deck department of the USS Never Docks. He didn't give up on me. He helped me out. So I can go on and on with a lot of people that helped me out for years. The AZ-1 at HSL 46 that took a twice busted AZAN, turned him around within about a year. So much that the lieutenant commander that had sent me to captain's mast twice didn't even recognize me as the same person. There was a warrant officer when I was in Pax River that kept bugging me week after week, month after month. Just take one more online college course. Just one online college course. LPOs, chiefs, officers, civilians that I've worked with over the years, worked with and for, that didn't give up on me. It saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. It just kept pushing me a little bit harder. That's as far as I'm memorized. They never let me give up. They never gave up on me, and they never let me give up on myself. So the lesson is, never give up. And if you're in charge of a work center somewhere, or a department, or a squadron, and you see that one kid that maybe just doesn't quite fit in, maybe he puts in just a minimal effort to get by. Maybe he might get into a little bit of trouble once in a while. But you look at him and you can tell that there's something. You see something in him. Maybe if you push him a little bit harder, He can get by, might become something, might get to a good place. Don't give up on him. Don't give up on him. Don't let him give up on himself. Because one day they could be up here talking about you. So as I stand here at the end of 20 years of my service, I wish I could call out every person who's ever been there next to me, been there to help me, been there for me. Maybe even just had something nice to say about me. But I don't really have time for that. I would be here till 2000 tonight. And it's 13, 15 on a Friday before Thanksgiving. So I don't have time for that either. But there's one person who's always been there for me. Wait a second. When it's always been there for me, it's always helped me. It always seen something in me that I never did. Thank you, Father. Thank you for being there. Thank you for finding me when I needed you. Thank you for our wonderful children. Thank you for the home I'm bringing back to today. I don't know what the next couple of months